6 sides, 6 configurations. It opens up and it cuts you. And then they come to collect.
It's time.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2022 remake, reboot, reimagining of Hellraiser, a film that is directed by David Bruckner and it stars Odessa Azion, Jamie Clayton, Adam Faison, Drew Starkey and Brandon Flynn. Now the film follows a character called Riley, who is something she has something of an addictive personality. She is a bit of a screw up. She's in rehab. She's got a boyfriend who she met at rehab. She keeps getting in trouble. She's living with her brother who essentially boots her out. But she's convinced by her boyfriend to kind of take place in a robbery. And part of this robbery, they discover the puzzle box, the famed puzzle box from the Hellraiser series. She takes it back, messes around with it as you do, and unleashes the Cenobites from hell that rain down on her and those close to her. And it is then up to her to figure out the secrets of the box in order to keep herself alive. Right. What are my thoughts on this new imagining of Hellraiser? Well, the first thing I want to say here is I'm not a super fan when it comes to the Hellraiser films. I do think the first one is rightly considered a classic. I remember watching it years ago and being really uncomfortable watching it because it was a tough watch in many ways, you know, very graphic and just very, very scary and unnerving. And I think the second and third one has got its fans as well, and I have seen those, and I have seen the odd cheaper version, you know, like they put out the direct-to-DVD ones over the years, the last decade or so, and they just, you know, declined in quality for many, many years. I think it's fair to say, the Hellraiser films, to the point now where they have decided to kind of do what they're doing with a lot of franchises now and kind of reimagining them, which is why we've got this film. So I don't necessarily come carrying a lot of baggage into this film in the sense of they need to get this right, and this right for this to be a Hellraiser film. You know, am I bothered that Doug Bradley isn't returning as Pinhead? Not really. You know, I think it's absolutely fine that they can cast someone else in this role, even a woman. It doesn't make a difference at all for this character Pinhead. Even though I think she's not even called Pinhead in this film. It's is she called the priest or something like that? But it's Pinhead. So they can make as many tweaks as they want, in my opinion, to this franchise to try and, you know, reimagine it for a new generation. And I think to some degree, I think they've been largely successful in doing that. They've delivered here what I imagined this film would be like, if that makes sense. Sometimes you go into a film with these preconceived ideas of what you're going to get. Sometimes you're disappointed because you don't get any of them or very few of them, and you come out a bit down on what you've just watched. Sometimes they meet your needs, far exceed your expectations, is what I'm trying to say, and you come out absolutely buzzing. This one essentially met them. It's exactly what I expected them to do with this film. I didn't expect anything different. They've tweaked how the box works a little bit. At least I think I do. Like I say, I'm no expert on the franchise. You know, it's got a few different, you know, ways you can be, you know, turned to do different things. It kind of stabs you now when you release a certain thing, which I don't remember it doing before. But other than that, it did exactly what I expected this film to do. It did exactly what it should do, I suppose. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a great film, because I don't. I think it's just barely average, just above average, I guess. I thought it was okay. Was I ultimately scared? No, not necessarily. Was I enjoying any of the characters? No, not really. I found, the characters to be pretty underwritten to a large degree. And the only time, and you could probably make this argument about most of the Hellraiser films, apart from the first maybe, the only time I think the film really started picking up is every time you got a Cenobite on screen. It became better, it became more interesting, it was more fun. And I thought the way the Cenobites were designed were spectacular. They looked brilliant. There's a couple that you will recognise. Obviously, there's Pinhead. There's that other one with the chattering teeth, whose name I forget. But I thought the designs were superb. They've always been good, I think, the Cenobite designs. They've always been really, really creative in how they've designed them. And they're very, very effective on screen. And very, I don't know, impactful maybe is the word I'm looking for. I thought they were absolutely fine. I thought everything else was watchable. The whole storyline with this character, Riley, kind of looking for her brother, who kind of gets taken by the box, was okay. Didn't necessarily draw me in. I think what I'm trying to say is I was a little bit underwhelmed with this film, which is disappointing because I do think there was potential here to really kickstart this franchise, and I think it's almost rolled over the starting line, if you like, rather than charged through the starting line, heading for the finish line. I think this is a decent attempt at kind of reinvigorating this franchise. But it didn't blow me away. It didn't kind of draw me in and think, oh, that was really, really good. I really want to go and check out the other Hellraiser films now. Because it didn't really. It wasn't overly interesting. But I think some of the creative choices worked. But I thought some of the characters were uninteresting. And I thought the film could have been a little bit better overall. But I thought it was certainly watchable. But I think there is probably... I don't know. You let me know in the comments, guys. If you are Hellraiser fans, what your thoughts are on this film. Were you disappointed with it? I'm not really a Hellraiser fan. I'm kind of coming at this from an outsider, almost looking in, familiar with the franchise, but not a fan of the franchise. I thought it was just okay. But let me know, guys, what you think. And I will, of course, be back with loads more content on the channel very, very soon.